message. We're going to add a message to the world that says the points for the enemy when you hit it, and the coin as well. Place it near where the enemy was. It should go away after a few seconds. All right, let's see what this looks like. All right, let's look at this real quick. Okay, so here's what we do. So we hit run, and our guy hits the bad guy, and the points show up. And when we get the coin, okay, we get the points, and it goes away. Okay, let's figure out how to do this real quick. Okay, so actually let's bring that back. Okay, so let's start off with our good guy. His name is Nacho in my case, because he's constantly looking for the coin as it is anyways. So when he looks for the coin and the bad guys and he eats it, then we should add the coin. So let's see what this is going to look like. So let's go to my act method, and we have this thing that's called look for coin somewhere. Oh, there it is. Pick up coin. Alright, so I'm going to press Control and F, and I'm going to look up where that is. There it is, pick up coin. If you can see the coin, eat the coin, play the sound, add to the score counter. You're going to set that to value onto the score counter up there. Now here it is, right here. Add points message 10. Okay, so let's figure out, this is where we're adding the number, and this is where we're getting the process started to, after a short time, remove the number. All right, let's find this. So again, I'm going to press Control F. I'm going to go next, and it says add. Oh, I'm doing the same thing for enemy, by the way. So when I hit the enemy, this is what I do. Okay, so here we go. Public void add points, string points. So you have to send it the number of points you want to add to the background. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're making a local variable, a box named world. The only thing that can go into it is a world. What are we doing? We're getting a world. Okay, so we're getting the world, and then we're going to say Greenfoot. We're making a box called BG for background. The only thing that can go into it is a Greenfoot image, and we're saying, hey world, hey you, world that's living in the box called world, we want you to get your background, and we're sticking it in this box called BG. So the box called BG is holding the current background. Then we say bg.setColor, color.white, because when we write, eventually we want it to be white. And then we're going to say bg.drawString. Okay, so we're going to say, hey, the background of the world, BG, that's in the box, I want to draw a string on you. It's going to be points, and it's going to be at the get X, get Y. It's going to be at the current X and Y location of our character. Now, one thing here, we got this guy called color, and don't forget, if you're going to use that color, you have to import it from Java. So at the very top of your good guy, it says import java.awt.color. Okay, all right. So that's it. So that's going to draw the score onto the background. Now that was easy. Now the tricky part is the erasing it. Let's reset it and look again. Okay, so far what we have is we hit run, and that thing appears. Now the tricky part is after a time it goes away, and there's a few reasons why it's tricky. Let's see if I have everything. Okay, so don't forget to import java.awt.color at the top of your good guy. Okay, so far I haven't forgotten anything. All right, so here's the deal. So when this guy gets the coin, he basically paints it on the world's background. Now the problem is the world is going to have to do the work in order to get rid of it, and it gets a little tricky. So let's see if we can figure it out. So the first thing I did was I made a superclass of my worlds. I'm not using these guys. So I have worlds, and then my world and level 2. Okay, so let's take a look at what goes in there. So in here I have, okay, so here's what I have. Okay, so I had to do this. I made a superclass of my worlds. I had to put this public static boolean clear points now equals false, but basically saying, yeah, we don't need to clear the points out of anything anytime soon. We don't need to do it. Okay, this is the delay, how many acts of the act method we're going to take before we clear the points. And then this one is the timer starts at 0, it has to get up to 35. Okay, so I made my superclass, I added some instance variables. Okay, now this one, by the way, this is important. This one's static, and these are all static. And the reason these are all static is because these variables, clear points now, delay, and timer, they're going to work So they're found in here, but they're also going to work here and here. Okay, so let's take a look at this. At the spiel. All right, a variable that is declared static has the same value for every instance of a class and all instances of the subclass if it's declared public, which it is. Sometimes this works well. There's occasions where it won't work well, but basically what we're doing is we're creating a variable in the superclass that we're going to use for these. Okay, and it's kind of complicated, but basically this guy is going to need to talk to these guys and say, hey, I need you guys to clear your background for me, and so this is going to help us, and we're going to see why in a second. Okay, let's keep moving. Okay, so we have our superclass, okay, called worlds. You can call it whatever you want, and then this is pretty standard public worlds. We set up how long and how tall it is and how many pixels. Now, inside our superclass, we have this thing. Start the clear points message. So we're basically saying, hey, clear points now equals true. It's time to clear the points. Now inside here we're going to also have this public void clear points message. And by the way, you have to send it a green font image that's a background. So basically these guys, this guy is going to say, hey, I'm going to send you my background, and then you're going to do this. We'll look at that in a second. Okay. All right, so if clear points, so that if it's time, if clear points now is true, then we're going to add to the timer. Once the timer gets up to the delay, we're going to set the background back to BG, to the original background with no writing on it. Okay, so clear points now equals false. We don't have to continue to clear the background anymore, and we're going to set our timer back to 0. Okay, all right. So that's it as far as what we're going to put into our world superclass. Now, because we have a superclass for these things, we have to go ahead and change these guys. Their code changes because we don't need any more. Let's see where it is. Let's look. So, hold on one second. Oh, okay. Here's what I'm looking for. So we have our. Okay, so we have public class my world extends world, so now we know it's a subclass. Now take a look. We used to have this super. Now we don't need that anymore because it's getting it from its superclass. Okay, so that's one difference you're going to make. Okay, okay, so we have this. So again, here's the superclass. Right now I'm in the subclass, and we can get rid of this line of code from the constructor. We don't need it anymore because it's a subclass. Now, let's take a look at what we've done in here. So I've created an act method for this world, and I say clear points message, and I'm sending the background. Okay, because basically what I want to do is right when this world's created, I get this good background with no writing on it. We don't want the score on it, right? And I'm storing it in an instance variable called background. By the way, you need that private greenfoot image background. Okay, so I make a box called background. As soon as I construct my world, I stick a good copy of this background in there. And so let's take a look at the act method, and we're saying, hey, I want you to clear points message background, and it's constantly asking, it's constantly saying clear points message, sending the background. The only thing is this guy it's the method is in here, but it won't do it because clear points now is equal to false. Okay. All right, with me so far, I hope. Okay. So now let's get back to our good guy, because our good guy is the one who initiates the whole thing. He hits the coin. He's the one who starts this whole process. So let's go to our good guy called Nacho. I don't know what you called it. Okay, so let's go to where were we at? Let's go to the top here, and let's go to the act method and see what we have. Looking for the act method. Okay, there it is. Pick up coin. So we're going to look at pick up coin, press Control F to find it, hit next. Okay, so here we go. What we're doing is we're saying start the clear points message. Okay, so we want to get that thing started, set that value to true so that we can do it. So let's press Control F. We're going to go to the next deal. All right, so here's what we do. Start the clear points message. Okay, now take a look at this thing. Here's a concept we haven't learned yet. It's called typecasting. So what we're saying is worlds. So basically I want to let's take a look at it. So basically what we're saying is, all right, say you guy right there, you class, I need to make a box for you. So we make a box called worlds. The only thing that can go into it is worlds, is a object of type worlds. And what am I doing? I'm getting the world. Now, this isn't going to work because if I get the world, it's of type what? World. But I don't need a world, I need this guy because this is the guy that has the method I need. Okay, let's take a look at what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the guy that has the ClearPoints message that I need, right? Okay, so basically what I'm doing, let's look back at that code again. Okay, so I'm saying, hey, I need to get the world, but the problem is this code get world gives me a world and I need a worlds. So what I need to do is say, yeah, you know what? I need the current world, and it's a world, but it's also a worlds, and I need the code in there. The code's found in worlds. So we typecast it. We say, yeah, even though it's going to send me a world, I need you to just change it into a worlds so that I can get that method that I need that's found in there. That's called typecasting. Let's take a look at the spiel here. Okay, a variable. No, we already got that. Typecasting. Java object typecasting. In there, one object reference can be converted into another object reference. In our case, it's converted from a world to a worlds. Okay, no, we're not done yet. Okay, so let's go back to our code. Okay, so we're typecasting. Any rate, so look, so now we get the world in the current world in a box called worlds, and now I can ask it to do it. I can say worlds, please start ClearPoint message. What happens? Well, let's go. When I say start ClearPoint message, let's see what happens. Let's select that and press Control C. Okay, and I'm talking to worlds, so I'm going to go in here. Let's see what it is. So I'm going to press Control F, and I'm going to press Control V to paste it in there. Okay, so what does it do? All it does is it turns ClearPoints now to true, and this guy right here, the world, is constantly in his act method saying, hey, I want a ClearPoints message, but it won't do anything because this has been false, but now it's true. So the timer will start. Once the timer gets up to the delay, it clears it with it replaces the background with BG. Where does BG come from? It comes from my world. Okay, this guy had saved a good copy and sent it up there. So kind of complicated code for something pretty simple, but that's it. Good luck on that one. Last part, that means we're completely done with the platform jumper. You're finished. Do all that and turn it into me for a grade.